back. Hi. Okay, it's on. Sorry, there was a delay. Weird. Welcome to Talk About It Tuesday. I'm Lizzie if you're new. If not, hi. Welcome back. Thanks for coming and being here. I love you guys. Appreciate everybody. I'm just breaking down this week for Talk About It Tuesday Easter Psalms. I'm going to read you my favorite ones and I'm going to give you my basic generic translation. What is the true Easter message? What should we be taking away from Easter? That's what it's all about. Let's get into the next one. If you have not checked out part 1, I go through a bunch of Psalms and I break it down just like this. So if you're liking this, check out part 1. All right, so Psalm 37. In just a little while, the wicked will be no more. Though you look carefully at his place, he will not be there. But the meek shall inherit the land and delight themselves in abundant peace. What do I think this means? This is my translation. Take it as you will. It's all subjective. I'm just trying to help you focus on what they're really trying to say in the true message. The wicked get their life and time on earth just like us. The good ones have our life and time on earth to do God's work. They are put on this earth to do the devil's work. They're always given a chance to come to the light. Despite what their purpose is, if they come down here to be dark, Jesus and God never, well, I can't say never. They do eventually pull away their chances, but every new life, they are given a chance to come back to the light. And eventually, hopefully, their soul will pick the light, but for right now, they're picking the dark. They can't do anything to anyone of God spiritually. Like, they can manipulate energy in the 3D, but the more closer you are to your faith, the more of an armor you have. The more anointed you are, as in the more you are walking in your purpose with God, they can't fuck with that. Everything that God put you here to do, he can't take away free will. So he can't make them stop doing spell work, but he can protect you from it, and he can make them learn a lesson. And that's what comes from it. They only get earthly things, but you are loyal. Those who are loyal get all things. Your power is matched by the light when you live in the light, and you will go on. Be dark, and you stay in the dark, even in your death, as in you go to hell. If you live in the light and you are a good person, you are protected as much as they can. Again, remember, they cannot affect free will. They can protect you from a lot of things. All right, let's move on. These are popular Bible verses. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. So, why do people talk about this verse? What's important about it? It's basically saying even God had to bear the burden of death. Even his Son had to die. He created equalness in our hearts for life and death and loss. So even God created his own Son, gave him limited time. His Son had to die. He had to experience and feel what all of you parents, siblings, every time you lose someone you love, multiply that by infinity, because God creates all of us. And he doesn't grieve you because he knows that you are coming up to him, but all these dark ones that go against him, he created them. He grieves those souls because he wants what's best for them, and they're going to hell. That's not what's best for them. So every second of eternity, God is losing a child, if you think about it long term. Let's talk about Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have called, I can't read today. I feel like every time I do something spiritual, my throat chakra. You gotta look out for people who are trying to darken this world. They like to mess with throat chakras. Anyway, let's start again. Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. What is this trying to say? Why is it important? God knows how to motivate us to be all the people he needs us to be for the greater good of humanity. That means if somebody is in a store having a seizure and there's a helper in that store, God's going to send that helper. It's a test for the helper. If they acknowledge and stand up and go and help, that's a reward. You know what I mean? Through God's work, being godly, answering your call of service, that is all motivated by the things around you, the things you see and hear. God knows how to place things in your life to get you to turn the right corner. But he can't mess with your free will. He can only give you signs like, turn here. But you have the choice to turn or not. You know what I mean? And he's like GPS. When you make the wrong turn, he's always trying to autocorrect you. All right, Romans 12:2. Do not conform any longer to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and prove that God's will is his good, pleasing, and perfect will. What does this mean? Do not follow others to decide your morals, your life choices, your wants, your needs, or desires. Go within. Ask God for guidance. Then follow your own voice and your own path. You can't... we are motivated by people in our life for our morals. Like you see a good person, you want to be good, you're motivated by that. That's one thing. But when it comes down to it, you go to God. Is this the right thing for me to do? Am I acting correctly? Can you show me if I'm wrong or right? Because we as man are sinners, and we don't always give the best advice. But you know who always gives the best advice? G-O-D, my friend. Let's move on. Psalm 23:5. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. What does this mean? Why is it important? All your enemies will learn the mistake in attacking a chosen one or God's child. So all of the people that mock you, who rise up to hurt you when you're out here just minding your own business and you're not hurting anyone, God's going to make them see in some sense, in some way, that you were not one to poke. And God's wrath will fall upon them because you aren't out here doing that to others. There is a just part of God, and God sees everything. So when you're minding your business and someone's out here trying to hurt you, knowingly or not, God's got your back. He will give you a blessing. Remember what he said, he can't affect free will. But if somebody hurts you with that free will, that he will punish them and he will bless you. Because he never wanted that to happen to you in the first place. He gives back what should have never been. You know what I mean? It doesn't make up for it, but he's not, or I just say he. I don't feel like God is a gender, by the way. I just say he. I don't know why. But I have a bunch more to do. So if you want to pick this up next week and you're interested in learning more about the breakdowns of things and my interpretation of it, please let me know in the comments. This spiritual side of things is new to me. Stepping into preaching a little bit. But again, this is all my interpretation. I am not a preacher. I just have a very close relationship with God, and this is what in my life and my experience I have learned from these things, and I hope it helps you. And if I don't see you again, or if you don't want anything else, I'll get a different topic going. But I do have more. If you want more, please let me know. And next